We'll have to do that when Amanda's here, so you never.
How you gonna edit it live?
Well, we'll have to, once we go to post the original video, just put that clip before.
Yeah, and on this one you can actually play it before it plays it before it starts. So we can show a video, you can set to play it before you even start.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
all right.
Really cool.
I think you'll have to sit next to me, Natalie, to be in it.
Yeah, Natalie, you have to sit over.
Yeah, Natalie.
Come on.
Come on, Natalie.
All right, let's get us set up here.
Natalie can just scooch over and look at the comments if we need her to, but she's on the
That's true.
outside.
Hello,
Can you see that part?
No.
and welcome to another episode of Hunter Start the Chat.
He started it, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Knoxville Tattoo Collective Shop Chat. Here tonight we have the lovely ladies of the KTC and myself. Tonight we're going to discuss shop families, tattoo families, what it means, is it important?
Hi.
Hunter's over there behind the camera.
It was the Ange.
Ange says hi.
Yeah, I was just wondering if she'd have one.
But we're going to talk about the importance of tattoo families. Is it important? What it means? I think things have changed over the years. And when I first started tattooing, that was like really important and big to be a part of a shop family. And even when you didn't get along with some of the people in your shop, it was still, it's like having brothers and sisters. You don't always get along. Sometimes you have arguments and sometimes there's bitterness or quarrels, but at the end of the day, you all have each other's back and you support one cause, and that's tattooing in the industry and the studio that you're in. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about expectations, not only of the clients, but of the artists and of the owners of the shops. What are some of the expectations you guys as clients have coming into a studio or dealing with an artist? What are some of the expectations artists have working in a studio, and some of the expectations that the owners have having artists working for them? So if you guys have any comments or you want to chime in, please feel free, hit the comments. Ask us a question, whatever you want to get. If you want to get on the combo, definitely chime in. We can also bring you in live if you want to join us live on Instagram, TikTok, and maybe even Facebook. So just holler at us, let us know. But let's get the conversation started.
Get it going.
So basically, like I said, when I first started tattooing back in 2003, I think it was, finding a good shop was important. I went to a bunch of different studios, kind of looking for the right studio, the place that I wanted to kind of learn and set my roots. And when I did finally find that studio, I was there for 7 years. So apparently it was a good studio. It was a place that I felt at home. My mentor, he felt like an older brother. His family felt like family, and the other artists in the studio felt like family too, most of the time. So it was a really fun experience. I also got to learn a lot from a lot of other people, which I think is important when you have diversity in your studio. You get to learn a lot more. So that was, for me, really good. And then my journey moving forward, as I started to get into other shops and work with other artists, it was the same vibe. I always try to fit in and get along with everybody and just kind of learn from each artist and each owner as I move forward in my journey, my career. So I think my shop family is pretty big at this point. I have a lot of friends out there. There's a lot of shops and artists that I know I can call on and go and work with. And I'm blessed to have that. I think that's important to have those bridges when you're ready to cross them, So what about you guys? What do you guys think about shop families? And
Renee, you can start.
what do you think, Renee? What do you think about shop families and tattoo families? And is it important? I mean, we spend probably more time together in the shop working around each other than we do our own families sometimes. So like, how does that affect your life, or how does that feel?
For me, like, you guys, like, I have a little brother, but you guys are my family. Like, I have you guys. I have my barn family, my work family.
Yes, you have your what? Your barn family?
Yeah, the barn.
Like animals?
I have people I ride with. Anyway, but I don't, my parents are gone. Like, you guys are my family. I spend most of my time with you guys.
What was it like coming into a new studio though? Because you started off at another studio. So what's it like do you still keep in contact with some of those artists that you were in before? Do you still consider some of those artists family? What's it like? How's that changed? How's that been?
Oh man, I was scared to death coming here. Scared to death.
Were you scared of us? Were we
Yeah.
intimidating?
I mean, you were. Like, yeah.
Did you know anyone here before?
Nope.
Just Chadwick, who she came here with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I mean, at
no,
least
like-
you guys had each other coming in. So it's
Yeah.
nice.
And then once I got here, like he had gotten married and he had, he had a bunch of things that he had to do with moving and things like that. And so I just had to suck it up and figure out what you guys were about, and like,
you did a good job.
yeah,
You're still here.
yeah, like, I don't know. It was really easy to I was just myself. And I mean, I'm a very honest person. I don't have anything to hide. You know what I mean? Like, I just fit in, and you guys now are like all I have, So, yeah, I mean, you guys could all call me at any point in time. I'd be like, yeah, I'd drop everything and I'd be there,
Oh yeah.
I have. Yeah. I love my job. I love what I do.
That's good. It's important. I mean, again, we do spend a lot of time together. So we do quarrel. We do have disagreements, but I think that's part of it. That's part of being able to get along with multiple personalities. Not everybody comes from the same background. We all have other things going on outside of here. So yeah, I think it's nice to be able to just kind of fit in, squeeze in and just kind of find your place. And like, once you realize that that's your place, you just kind of fit in. Like everyone kind of works out.
Yeah, you guys just accepted me. I was the weird horse girl. And then
Yeah.
I was
We
just
love
like,
you for that,
and
right?
you were like, oh, you guys, I'm not that weird.
Well, for me, it's definitely the family vibe. I obviously, since I'm the youngest here, I was here in the shop before I was even tattooing. So I've always been like the baby. So everyone's like a brother and a sister here. It really, like he said, it's really just like an actual family. Me and Amanda, if she were here, she's not watching, but when she watches this, she's like my big sister who's always annoying me. We're always bickering back and forth. So if you guys have been here, you know how it's like.
Yeah.
But I love it. I
They're
wouldn't.
like an old married couple.
Yeah, that's true. They are an old married couple. But
I think it's nice to have that, be able to find, again, it's almost like taking a break from regular life, because a lot of us have friends or family outside of here that we spend time with. And,
Speaking of which, someone says hi, cousins from your Colorado fam.
oh, what up?
hey,
Angel is here.
So yeah, just taking that break from your, I guess if you want to call it like your regular real life, drama or whatnot, whatever you got going on, and being able to come here and kind of separate those two things. And yeah, you kind of cut loose a little bit, relax, then when you get out of here, it's like back to whatever you got going on. Which for me, I know sometimes it's nice to have a break to kind of come here and just be here, even if I'm not doing anything, just kind of being in the studio, it just helps me relax sometimes,
yeah.
When I first came to like interview for my apprenticeship, like that was the thing that kind of drew me in here the most, was how much you pushed like doing things as like a team and like going on like the hike and stuff like that. Like I like that you expand it more than just like we're here to work, And like I'm obviously a pretty shy person. It sometimes takes a second to like break out, but I feel like every day I'm here, I get more and more comfortable and like more used to like one, just like what it's like to be here, but also just like expectations of like, I've already seen like artists come and go here. And I think like I'm learning like the core values that you guys hold, and like just how important that is to like keep each other up and like, staying motivated while
Being a
also
team,
just
yeah.
supporting each other.
I mean, it's important. That was one thing when I decided to expand and open a bigger studio. It's like you take on more people, more personalities, sometimes more issues, more problems, and that's a lot. And as an owner, and that perspective looking at it, it's like sometimes it's a lot to juggle a lot of those personalities. You want to keep everybody happy, but at the same time, you do have to stick to your core values. Like there's a reason why I opened this studio, and there's a reason why I do things the way I do them. And it's to keep it even and to keep an even playing field for all artists. So it doesn't matter if you just started or you've been in it for a couple of years or you've been in it for 4 or 5 years or 10 or 20 years. It's even all the way around.
Yeah.
Nobody's treated here. Everybody's treated, the same. That way, everybody feels like they have a chance.
Yeah.
That's important because artists, I might be able to tattoo forever, but be able to give what I have, my knowledge, to somebody that's coming up and it's going to be able to carry on all those things and those same values. That's important to me now. So before, when I was your guys at your level and your ages, and just starting my career, for me, it was just about the glam. I was living like a rock star, partying, drinking, hanging out, having fun. And at some point, that part of it, I had to like transition and say, okay, now I'm starting to have a family. I've got kids. I got to kind of settle my life down and focus on my future. And what am I going to have to leave to them, So building something, that's what I'm trying to do now. So bringing in people that can understand that and have those same values and want to be a part of that is important. But also, at some point, all of you guys are going to want to go off and do your own thing and have your own careers. So for me, when I started off, it was the same idea is I'm trying to help you build roots, the foundation, so you guys can build that career and can expand. And at some point, when you decide to go off on your own or other shops or whatever you decide to do, you have that strong foundation, those strong roots and those strong values, and you carry those on through your career. So it really, for me, it's kept me going 20 years. Really I got those from my mentor, like watching him with his business and the way he handled business, the way he handled his artists. That's just like, for me, seeing that in working in other shops in the last 20 years and seeing how other owners handle their business and run it, man, there's certain things that I've seen work. And if I could just continue to kind of push those things forward and let people know, look, this is what works. If you really want to be successful, like I've seen these things work, So yeah, it's about establishing those roots. So I think it's great to have different personalities come in. And like for you, you're already coming in with a background doing like photography and all kinds of artistic stuff outside of tattooing, which is really cool to bring that flair into it. Once you start to develop as a tattooer, it just adds to that, that whole toolbox you have, all the stuff you do artistically. And I think it's great to see that, because for me, when I first started, like I was really just a pencil tattooer, a pencil drawer, and I went from pencil drawing to tattooing. So it's not like I was out doing like photo shoots and makeup stuff, like painting. I thought tattooing was cool, and once I learned how to do it, I was like, oh hell yeah, this is badass, man. Like So it was a different mindset back then, So to see like the younger generation coming up with another like a different mindset, but still being able to hold on to those core values, that's super important. Like I love to see that. I love to watch you guys grow. So I'm excited for the future for all of you, going forward. But that's why I say tattoo family is important. You guys know, and like I've told you, and you guys all, once you guys have been here for a while now, I've always got your back. Even some of the artists that have gone from the shop that have been with me before, I'm always there for you guys. That you can always call me if you need advice, whatever. I'm still always going to be there in that mentor phase, in that mentor outlook. So don't be afraid. You know what I mean?
That's one thing that kind of helped me be successful here is kind of, because I guess where I've gotten tattooed or collected tattoos for years, been in shops for years, they've only been tattooing for a couple of years, but I've been in shops since I was 18. I knew the expectations, like, show up, work hard, do this, do that, And I think that's what helped set me apart versus the other people that haven't stayed here,
It's a different mentality.
Yeah. And like, I'm here to hustle, man. Yeah. I'm here.
And you've seen old school tattooers, how they get down. So
that's how I was, I guess, raised up to be a tattooer, is that old school, like, trad hustle, like walk in shops,
that's what it's about.
Like you just, all day long.
That's the fun of it.
No,
that's what I don't understand with
I
these
know,
artists
like,
that just don't want to like do anything or don't even want to be here. I'm like, that's the whole part of it.
Yeah.
If you're not a workaholic, it's
right.
Yeah.
It doesn't work
for real.
Yeah.
I've always said you can be a tattooer or you can, be a hobbyist. A hobbyist, like go do that shit at your house. Like honestly.
Well, that's part of what made me want to get into tattooing is I work best when I have like a structure and a schedule. but I also like I am a workaholic, but I feel like I have a lot of passions.
Mhm.
And I did photography for a while, and like it was something that I could see myself doing forever, but it's also such a like I don't know, like it's not as family based. It's very like your own. And like you can have teams and stuff like that, but even then it's like I feel like tattoos, like it's such a
Homey vibe.
It's a community.
yeah, it's a community. And
Yeah.
already like there's other artists that I've met that are also apprentices or they've just recently started their artist journey and they're all looking for other
Yeah.
tattooers and it's just cool. Like I feel like I'm just tapping into that, but I've already been so welcomed.
Just wait till you start going to conventions.
Yeah.
It's so like
Yeah, definitely.
the atmosphere, it's so crazy. Once you're actually like a tattoo artist at a
Mhm.
convention, it's so much different
Yeah.
than like just being there and like walking around, whatever.
So-
But like the way you
Mhm.
connect with some of those artists, I mean, it really is like you can build a tattoo family aside from your actual tattoo family,
Yeah.
you know, like long distance family and like do guest spots and stuff like that. It's like
Yeah.
there's so much and there's so many of us.
Yeah.
Also, but Natalie, it's
Natalie,
your
you
turn.
talk, Natalie. Say something. What do you- How do you feel? You
I
part of this
mean,
family, Natalie?
You're super
I mean, I do have a husband and a 15-year-old at home, and a lot of times I don't get to see him because I'm here all the time. But it's worth it. Like, I really like being here. I like doing everything. You just get in a routine, basically.
It's tough. Look, and I've always told every artist that wants to get into this, there's a lot of sacrifices you have to make. And
Mhm.
people really don't get it. Like they really don't understand the amount of sacrifice. I could preach all day and talk about all the sacrifices I've made, but it's really no comparison to some of the sacrifices some people have to make, you know? And this industry is not an industry you get successful overnight. It takes work, it takes time. I mean, I'm still at a point where I'm still trying to be successful. Like, I don't even think I definitely haven't made it. Like I'm definitely not there yet. I'm still working to get to my
Mhm.
final goal, you know? It takes time. And I think that's a lot of the problem with these newer artists, some of these artists that don't want to hustle, don't want to put in the work is they don't get that. They don't understand that this is with the way this works, you don't even see the results of your own work for at least 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? Because you don't see those tattoos come back. You don't see them healed or what they look like in that time. So to really understand how you even are doing or where you're at, it takes about 5 to 6 years to even know.
Yeah.
So people just don't get that. They don't want to put in that time. And I think that the hardest thing, at least for me, I mean, I went through, like me and Rachel's mom, you know, we divorced over this.
Yeah, I was like, I'm very
tattooing,
fortunate. I have
you
a
know,
very
like,
understanding husband.
so when I
So-
first started my apprenticeship, I was gone. I mean, we were open every day except for Monday. And so I was at the shop 6 days a week from open to close. So from 10 to 11 every day. And I had to drive an hour and a half to get there and an hour and a half to get home every night.
Mhm.
So I literally never saw them, you know, and it was tough. And then even and that was just in my apprenticeship, you know, once I started tattooing, I was still working the same schedule. It just took over my life. Like I got so involved, but I had a thirst. Like I was so hungry to learn because I've been doing that in my house. Like I was a scratcher. I started tattooing out of the house. I bought some stuff off Amazon, eBay back then. And I tried to taught myself how to tattoo. And I just got to a point where I just hit a stalemate. I just wasn't getting any better. I wasn't learning anything. And I had that drive. I wanted to do this. It's something I really had a passion for. So when I found that apprenticeship and I got the opportunity, there was nothing that was going to stop me from doing that, you know? And throughout my life before that, I had given up a lot because of other things, whether it be like a girl or, you know, whatever, being scared of something, you know, there were a lot of things that I stepped back from or didn't do because of that. And when I got the opportunity to do this tattoo, like full time and an apprenticeship, I went full bore and there was nothing that was going to stop me. And there wasn't. I mean, I gave up a marriage. I mean, I gave up time with my children, you know, all kinds of stuff.
You don't even realize it. Like, I didn't even realize how much time I am here.
No, you
But my
don't.
son was like, I hope I see you tomorrow.
But
I
you
just
know,
happened to not see him that day. Like, because you're
when
busy.
you finally get to that point, though, in 4 or 5 years, you're
Mhm.
licensed, you're making money, you have a clientele, you're able to step back and work 4 or 5 days a week and spend that time with your kid. You're going to
Mhm.
that time you spend is going to be so much more worth to it because it's like, damn, like I missed some time that I'm going to cherish every single moment I have with my family, you know? And then when you come to work, you shut all that shit off and it's time to hustle and get to business. You know what I mean? So you get into a routine and you figure it out. It's just the first couple of years, man.
It sucks.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Dude, I mean, I'm still working 2 jobs. You know, like I put in 8 hours today, 9 hours today.
Yeah. There's some days I do like damn near 17 because I'll wake up at 5 in the morning, go to do a morning shift, get off at 10:30 and come here. You know, it's like
Yep.
you have to, you know,
Same.
you can
It is what
afford
it
it,
is,
you
yeah.
know.
But I'm telling you
It's like
guys,
a
like,
Yeah,
part of your
hustle.
when
dreams.
you're putting in
Yeah.
that work, you're gonna see. Because come January, when you start taking on appointments and stuff like that, and doing real tattoos and making some money, you're gonna be like, damn, all right, well,
Yeah.
I gave up all that hours of sleep and all those times with my friends, and all those nights out drinking. Like, now it's starting to pay off. I'm starting to make some money. I'm starting to not have to. I'm starting, you get to a point where you start thinking about, okay, now I can lose my day job and I can just focus on just tattooing and booking appointments and hustling and doing that. That's the payoff, and I say this is a hustler's game, man. If you're not a hustler trying to be in this game, like, I don't know what you're doing, because it's not a game where you can just sit back and wait for it to happen. I don't care how good of an artist you are, unless you have a solid clientele that literally keeps you busy year round, you're constantly trying to hustle. There's always something you can do. Just some comments here. She's talking about sacrifice. A lot of people don't realize how much sacrifice any career in the arts truly takes. I'm lucky in that I've never started a family to have to sacrifice for my career, but if I had, there'd be times where I'm sure I'd have done what I had to. I do it enough sacrificing myself. I'm kind of glad I haven't had anyone else to do it to. Yeah, I mean, like, it's anything you're passionate about, there's always going to be sacrifice. There's always going to be fails. There's always going to be setbacks. That's just part of the journey, and you have to be strong enough to get past those things. That's what makes us strong.
Yeah.
If every time we fall, we just crawl away and give up, like, yeah, you don't ever get forward. You never know how far you can go until you try and put in the effort. So, yeah, I mean, and that rolls into our next part of this, expectations. It's crazy to me, and we have had a few artists come and go since we've been in this location, and since we've been open, really, in the last 3-4 years, we've had some artists come and go. I think that expectations are different for everybody. I think artists have expectations. I think owners have expectations. I think clients have expectations. I don't know. I'm gonna save mine for later. I'd like to get some of these guys, though, as artists, what their expectations are as artists, as far as working in a studio, working with other artists. Like, what kind of expectations do they have? If you guys have any comments or any questions about expectations, please chime in. If any of you clients out there have any expectations you want to put out there, please chime in so we can read those off. I'd like to get some input from the clients as to what your expectations are as far as dealing with an artist or coming into a shop for the first time, or maybe you're a continuous client of the shop and you're coming in for multiple times. What kind of expectations you have when you come in every time? I don't know who wants to start. What kind of expectations you guys have as artists? And don't feel free. Don't hold back. I'm not gonna get upset.
Like, for like us to clients, us to each other, us to you.
Well,
like,
all of it, yeah. As an artist, like, what do you have coming into a studio or working in a studio? What kind of expectations do you have? So obviously, if you were to be working on your own, there's not. I mean, you expect, like, your client. You don't have anybody else to have expectations from, right? Like, if you work on your own, it's kind of like, as long as your clients are clean and come in, cool. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think you just.
So as working with a group, like, what are your expectations for working with, like, other artists? Let's start there.
I'd say pretty much what we do here, like, if I were to go somewhere else and say, like, walk-ins and stuff, I would expect, like, like, everyone to be cool about, like, rotation, like, everyone, like, that kind of way. Like, I expect artists to be helping each other. Like, I expect that everyone's gonna be helping each other, trying to promote each other, like, get each other money, you know what I mean? Like, which is what we do here. So it's hard to come up with more, because I mean, we're pretty perfect here.
Yeah, and I mean,
but
I don't really. I mean, I love it here, and even I have a second job, and, like, sometimes I'm gonna be late or whatever. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be late. This is why, and you guys are really understanding of that, But I gotta work too, because sometimes it's kind of slower here right now. Kids are out of school, and, like,
fall break,
whatever, fall vacation, whatever.
So maybe it's like respecting your personal life, kind of like
Yeah,
kind of.
I would say too, just like even when like, yeah, when you're
I mean,
running
you guys help
late,
me
but like
hustle,
sick
you know?
days too, just like, yeah, respecting like that. We do, everyone has lives, things happen, like, you know what I mean? Not everyone's perfect.
Yeah.
So like just being understanding that, like, I mean, it's different if you're coming in late every single day or you're not talking to anybody at all and you're never here, whatever. But when you're
Yeah.
communicating and it happens like maybe once a week or every now and then, and it's for a good reason, like you said, like you have another job and we know you're coming from, I think it's different. I think that is something that's like a big like part of like expectation.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm very appreciative of you guys doing that for me, because you guys can be like, nah, you know, and then I'll be like, well, you get it, that would suck, you know, like that would really suck because it would put me in a big predicament, you know. But you guys are, I don't know, I just, you know, I appreciate that aspect because not everybody would be as understanding, you know.
Yeah.
So that's, other than that, like it's perfect here. Like I love my job. Good luck getting rid of me.
I think another one is like helping each other out, like you and Amanda, like when one of you is out, you contact each other, make sure like someone can cover for you, whatever, like because you're piercers, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that way. And also just like communication, like sometimes like I'll have the shop phone sometimes, and like Hunter and Renee will be here at the shop. And so if I get walk-ins or something like that on the phone, I'll give them to Hunter and Renee. Obviously, I'll check their schedules first, make sure they don't have anything. But I expect them to be here, be ready to take the walk-in, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like being able to count on each other, I feel like, and just like
It depends.
no, yeah, be
Dependability
dependable.
and communication.
Yeah.
Those are kind of some expectations as artists, like
Yeah.
you kind of have in a
Yeah.
shop, you know.
Yeah, and even if, you know, even if something happens or someone's out, like even you'll text me and say, hey, you know, and I usually go, all right, I'm off at this time, and then I come in,
Yeah.
you know, so.
What about you guys coming in as apprentices and new? What are some of your expectations that you have coming in, or that you had, I guess, coming in?
I feel like pretty much all of them are fulfilled. Like I didn't really like when I applied for my apprenticeship, I didn't even really expect to get it. Like I didn't really put together an official portfolio. Like I had just like I knew that I wanted to do it, but I had also just moved back from California, so I was still kind of getting used to my life here. But I feel like I came in because like again, like we were talking about earlier, of like I just felt like this was like you had set up a perfect situation to teach us. And I feel like a lot of people take on apprentices. Like I've heard so many horror stories of people just like there's this one girl I watched who was saying how her mentor, she would pay him like $2,000 a month, and he just had her sit there and draw a skull over and over and over again on a piece of paper.
Right.
But it was just, and it was clear that like he just wanted her money and wasn't necessarily trying to really teach her, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and I've heard people that, you know, actually maybe wanted to teach them. And I know you've even had a rough experience in your first apprenticeship, but like, I could just tell that you were hungry to teach people and that it wasn't a selfish reason. It was you truly just love the art of tattooing. And I think like coming in here, like I feel that through every artist, and like you guys all are willing to help like teach us further, especially like when you're busy and stuff. And like I feel like that's what we need to learn, but also I mean a lot of it is of just observing and seeing how each of you guys work and each of your own styles, as well as just, you know, setting up and like your timing and stuff like that too. And I feel like a lot of it is just kind of applying what you learn from everybody and putting it into kind of your own figuring it out, you know, kind of thing. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like all my expectations are, you know, I feel like it just kind of comes with learning, and I'm excited to be here more too, because like my schedule obviously for a while was a little all over the place, but I think just the more I'm here, the more I learn. And
What about you, Dad?
Well, kind of like she said. I mean, I just expect to be challenged, which I am. I mean, that's the only way you're gonna learn. Is you're so frustrated you want to throw something.
Real.
But that's usually how you come with a breakthrough, and I feel like I am challenged every week. And
But it helps.
It
You've got so
does.
much better since then, and we stay on you.
Mhm.
You just go up.
And that's what it is. Like every day is learning. You know? Now, obviously, I'm also learning because, you know, I've only had so many apprentices. And every time I think I have an apprentice, I learn a little bit more what to do and what not to do. Right.
Mhm.
And I think this time, what I'm trying
Cut it down this time.
Yeah.
For real, you got it down this
Write
time.
it down, and, you know, just like I'm really trying to structure it better. You know, I don't want to flood the industry with apprentices, but what I do want to do is allow people that have a passion for this industry to be able to do it and do it right. You know, I think that's important. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why I haven't had in the past any apprentices. Like, I just never felt like I was at a point where I could teach. You know, obviously, when you're at a point to teach is what they would consider mastery, right? Like you master something is when you're able to teach it to somebody else. And there's still a lot of things I haven't mastered. So for me, being able to teach you guys just the fundamentals, those I know I've got. You know,
Yeah.
those are solid.
I'll
And
learn a
then
lot.
some of you guys, you know, that are further along, like Hunter, and you and Amanda and even Rage, being able to show you guys new techniques that I even learned, that's really been beneficial. You know, I think that's beneficial for all of us. And so the journey never stops, man. Like you really, as long as you can hold that machine in your hand, like you're always learning. So, and that's why I say it takes forever. Like this is the slowest process.
Also, every body is different.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah,
skin
it's
texture is
different, yes.
different. So you're literally learning every single day.
And it's great. Like I mean, I don't know. I've learned so much more about body anatomy, life, art, like, you know, through just tattooing, you know. So it's like it is a life changer. I mean, it's you dedicate your entire life to it.
You do.
I've always said it is not a job, it is not a career, it is a lifestyle.
For
You
real.
know, you live tattooing. And if you don't live tattooing, you shouldn't be doing it. Like, fuck, go find a fucking day job, man. Like shit, leave it to us, you know. Us hardcore tattooers.
Well, one thing that exceeded my expectations too is like the fact that you went into teaching us about history and like had us go out on our own to like do our own research, you know, because I think that also it pulls so much more like love, I guess, about like what you're truly doing and why you're doing it, you know, and it takes it away from feeling like just a job and something you're learning technically. Like, because yes, there's the technical side of it too, but there's also like you truly do. You have to love it.
Yeah.
You have to love art, and you have to love.
There's a whole history. You know? I mean, like it's crazy. I would love at some point to be able to go and check out some of the museums they have. They have a bunch of tattoo museums. I know things one in Ohio.
Road trip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
For
we should do a
real.
road trip, or we even do a show out there, make it one of the things we do. You know, that stuff's just cool. Like I said, I love it. I think it's important to understand where tattooing comes from. It's important to know who came before us to pave the way for us now. I think all that stuff's important. It's more than just technical. It's more than just understanding how to apply the tattoo on the skin, in my opinion, you know? So yeah, I think it's great, you know? So yeah, some of, I think as an artist, the expectations usually pretty, I mean, I don't want to say they're low, but I think coming into a shop, it's usually, you know, as long as people are getting along, you have good communication, you can rely on everybody, you know, I think, you know, the most part, everybody here, we get along so well because we are able to communicate. You know, we communicate when we're not having a good day, or we're having, you know, a good day or a bad day. We can communicate that. We can communicate when we're overwhelmed. I know a lot of times their schedules get kind of crazy, and it's just like a lot going on. So having that, being able to communicate and rely on each other to help out, that's really important. As an owner, I think some of the expectations for the owner, which are difficult, because like I think for me it's an expectation of having people that are willing to work. Obviously, like I can't push anybody or make anybody work any type of amount of hours or make them tattoo any faster or bring business in, but I think encouraging the hustle, and giving them all the ways to do it. You know, that's why we have all the camera equipment and the drones and all this crazy stuff to be able to make videos and reels and promote ourselves. So I think it's important to be able to self-promote. You guys are our brands. Like each and every one of you is your own brand.
And it's 2024, and the internet's the only
internet's
thing
popping,
really that's up to date.
Really. What
It's been a little bit boring life.
Can't avoid it.
Well, I'm telling you, like when I first started tattooing, I think MySpace is what came out. When MySpace hit the internet, and there was a way for you to be able to
Top 10 friends.
promote yourself for real. putting all the photos on there of all your work.
So
That
let me
was
take
the
you off your top, my top stick
freest,
fan.
the freest and biggest way to advertise.
Yeah.
And I think I had so many clients just off of that. People just come in just from seeing that. So I think all these social medias, there are so many more today than there were back then.
So they're
It's hard to keep up. I mean,
Yeah.
we're streaming on 4 of them right now.
Yeah.
I think 5 actually, 3, 4, 5. We're streaming on 5 right now. It's so difficult nowadays to keep up, but it's so important to do so because that is your freest advertisement. You can spend money all day on Facebook ads, TikTok, Instagram ads, whatever ads you want to spend money on. You can spend money on those. But I'm telling you, you have free advertisement right at your fingertips. All of them social media accounts. So it's important to get on there, push those, promote, use that dead time. Not every shop is booming busy right now. We've even struggled a little bit here over the last few months trying to stay busy. It's starting to pick up a little bit now. Thank goodness. Thank you to all the clients out there coming through.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, when we have that dead time, it's important to that's when you advertise. That's when you do your art projects. Try to do anything you can to try to hustle. Try to get it out there. People want to see content, and it's important to try to create that, even if you don't want to. You have to if you want to succeed, if you want to move forward. So it's like Rach said, it's 2024. It's everybody's on the phone.
Yeah.
Look, I'm looking at my phone right now, looking at comments.
I know, me
too. It's crazy.
Kyle says, I got my first tattoo done by Isaac at the old location. People ask me all the time where and who did it. Tell them you guys and show them social media. Tell them to go.
Yeah, Kyle.
Definitely coming back. Kyla.
All right, Kyla.
Come to the new location.
Yeah, come check
It's
out
way
the new
better.
location. Oh yeah, remember all you guys, all our clients out there, new, old, returning. We have this big black wall out here, and we're having everybody sign it. So if you've been here, if you've been tattooed here, or if you're getting your first tattoo here, coming here for the first time, make sure to remind us. So I'm constantly forgetting.
Yeah.
Come sign the wall. We're trying to collect as many signatures as we can on this wall. We want to fill it up. So come down here, be a part of history. Whatever history that is, our history, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, check that out. Come down, do that. I don't know. What do we got going on coming up here? Any deals, any specials?
We have the Halloween flash is coming up. Hopefully, we'll have all the flash sheets posted by tomorrow. There'll probably be a couple more flash sheets that come out throughout until Halloween. But we'll have a good chunk tomorrow that I'm going to post on everything. And then the actual weekend of Halloween, we're going to bring back our $75 flash tattoo deal. So we'll have a bunch of little ones. We have the gumball machine filled with Friday the 13th and Halloween flash. You're doing $400 horror portraits
Still
still?
doing horror portraits, 400 bones,
Mhm.
black and gray palm size. My palm, not yours. Yeah, come down, get one of those if you want. I love to do like some type of Evil Dead, maybe like Fright Night, or some old school horror movies. I just got done doing a pretty badass Frankenstein. I did a
Those are
Chucky.
really
So yeah, bring me some good ones. I'd love to get some more done. I'm also going to be guest spotting out in Pigeon Forge this weekend.
Yep.
And again, in 2 weeks from now, I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. So if you're out there in the Pigeon Forge area, stop by Jaded Art Collective, check them out. They got that crazy claw machine. Come down, grab you them couples tattoos. They've got a bunch of claw machines actually with all kinds of tattoo
They
stuff.
got a
in
bunch
them.
of everything.
Yeah, they got a bunch of cool stuff. So if you're in the area, definitely stop by and check them out.
Jack said that she'll be back to have you finish and fix her upper arm. So maybe she'll see us next week.
All right,
You should see us
Jax.
next week.
Well, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow up behind a claw machine, but I forgot this flash coming out.
Oh yeah, Renee, go
I
show.
got
Bring
this
it
flash
closer.
coming out
Yeah,
tomorrow.
get it up there, Renee. Get it right up there. Hold on. Here comes Renee, everybody. She's your flash.
Get in
Oh my
there.
god, it doesn't even like. Anyway,
A little bit
listen,
more, Renee.
I can't.
Oh,
Yeah, here you go.
yeah. We'll post it too,
Yeah.
so you guys can see it better.
You know,
I've been working hard on that flash. So come down,
Yeah.
get you a little horror piece, a little Halloween flashy lashy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like always, we're just here having fun. Always, 7 days a week. You can always catch us. We're always trying to do some type of specials. I've got all kinds of discounts going for military, students.
Don't forget, we have gift cards for Christmas, even though it's a couple months still.
Yeah, we got
We have gift cards.
available. We got those plastic hard ones, and we got regular paper ones. So
We have
whatever you guys
emailed
want.
ones too that you can just email.
too, yep. But yeah, come on down, check us out if you're in the area. We're also thinking about putting together something for the holidays for artists. So all the artists in the area and business owners, keep a day open sometime in December.
We have had some clients that asked if we're doing any type of Christmas party.
They really
Yeah.
love the opening.
They really love our parties, so,
yeah,
maybe
we'll
we'll throw
have
a little
big
party.
old party. We're gonna put something together,
Right?
but we'll put that together. We'll keep you guys posted.
Mhm.
Like always, go check out all our social medias, Knoxville Tattoo Co. on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Check us out and check out all our private Instagrams and Facebooks too if you want.
Mhm.
Give us a DM, shoot us a message, text or call 865-474-9054. Like I said, 7 days a week. We're here to take care of you guys. And any artists out there want to come by, we got 2 booths open and 2 private rooms open still. So shoot me a message. Let's
Actually, we
talk
have
it.
three booths open.
Oh, yeah, technically, yeah. We have one more we can put in a booth too.
Yep.
So yeah, get a hold of us, guys, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Peace.
Peace out. Facebook's still going. No one's saying.
Don't say anything crazy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
We held my fat ass.
Oh, he's a psycho.
I want it. Oh, I'm touching it. It's not a touch screen.
Duh.
Duh.
I can't with you.